Everybody, and welcome to the Katie Weaver Show. This is Katie. I am your host, and I'm so happy to be here. I hope that you guys are having a great morning and a good start to your week. I mean, it is Wednesday already. What do they say about Wednesday? It's hump day. And indeed it is. So, lots of things that I want to talk to you guys about today. Oh God, where do you even start? Well, let's start with the basics, right? If you are listening live, then it is the 10th of October. It is 10 a.m. Pacific time, and we are live here on 12radio.com. If you are listening to an archive or a replay, I want to invite you to, I want to welcome you, actually. I just want to welcome you. But I would like to invite all of you to join us in the chat room. And you can get to the chat room by heading over to 12radio.com, clicking on the chat button, and you'll be redirected into the Facebook chat. I want you to know that it's a private group. So if you've not joined before, you will want to ask for entry, and Christy's standing by and she'll gladly let you in the group. So it's just one way that we help protect your privacy a little bit around here. Also, I am doing this event via Facebook Live, and you can find that over at 12radio.com in the chat room. So that's where I'm streaming from. However, you can also find this later in the day if you're listening to an archive or a replay and you'd like to take a look at it later on. Just head over to Domestic Mystic on YouTube and you'll find it there. So is that all the nuts and bolts? I think we're really close. That's all the stuff. I do want to let you know that I'll be keeping an eye on the chat room. And if you would like to interject something, if you want to ask a question, if you'd like to say something, I am definitely keeping an eye on the chat. Now you'll see my banner at the top of the page, and that's where you want to comment. That's where I'll see you. If you make comments in the live stream, I may not see them because it moves so fast, and if several people are commenting, I won't always see them. So if you really have a pressing question, something that you need me to see today, make sure that it happens in my banner, under my banner here in the chat room. Otherwise, all bets are off. I try, I really do, but I may not get there. So you might notice I have a brand new banner too. It was new last week. Our lovely and talented Kelly McLean made it for me, and I'm loving it so much. I'm a really annoying customer for design because I don't ever know what I want. And so I'm pretty much like, just do something, I'll probably like it. And Kelly's like, nope, not doing that. You tell me what to do. So we settled on, I said I'd love something with vintage wallpaper because I love vintage wallpaper. So this is what she did, and I love it. So pretty. So I have some fun things that I'm doing. You guys know that I write the Domestic Mystics Daily Dish. And what I've been doing with the Daily Dish is posting it as a postcard on my Instagram and on my Facebook page. But I've decided to do it a little differently. So it's coming out as a daily email instead. And so you can subscribe to it. I'm putting a link in the chat room. All you have to do is click on that and you can subscribe to it. And then what happens is that every day you'll receive an email from me. Not a long email, it's not crazy. It's just that, just the Daily Dish. So it's just that little daily reading, give you a little peek into the energy of the day, maybe give you a little pep talk or a little pick-me-up, and sometimes a little warning. So that's how to start receiving those. So I did put it in the chat room for you to see, and I would love it if you would subscribe to that. I will also send you Luminous Magazine once a week. So you'll get a few things from me. I will try not to clog up your email too much, but I like the idea of you guys being able to wake up to the Daily Dish, to this little note in the morning, a little bit of encouragement. And so that's how I'm doing it from now on. So please subscribe. If you have already subscribed to Luminous Magazine, you still have to subscribe to this. It's a different list. I can't just start sending a daily email to everybody in Luminous who is asking for a weekly one. That seems like a really good way to piss somebody off, right? That would probably irritate me too. So if you subscribe to Luminous, you'll still get it, but you have to subscribe to this list in order to receive it. If you're not in the show live and you want to subscribe to that, just head over to my Facebook page, Katie Weaver, Domestic Mystic. You can find it right there, and that's the way to do it. So that's the scoop. So I'd love to send those over to you guys. So far, so good. I've been sending them to myself for a few days to make sure that I like the way they look, and I'm loving it. So it's good stuff. All right. Well, today is Mental Health Awareness Day, National Mental Health Awareness Day. And it's not necessarily the topic of my show, but I did want to mention it because mental health is something in this country that affects millions upon millions of people and millions upon millions of families, and it still carries some terrible stigmas with it that we are still continuing to try to work through. So this is a good day to reflect a little bit on your own experiences, on the experiences of the people that you love, and always be mindful of spreading a little bit of awareness, spreading a whole lot of love and acceptance, and just seeing what we can do to help take care of each other a little bit better, or a whole lot better. Now, I want to let you know that the topic of the show today, and I did share a little postcard in the chat room about it, so you might have already seen it, but I want to talk today about the collective energy and how it is affecting the empathic souls. I know a lot of you guys are empaths. I know a lot of you guys are parents of empaths or friends of empaths. And the empaths right now are so crushed under the weight of anger that it has swept through the United States particularly, but the world as well. And I want to talk about it. I want to do some work on it. Let's talk. Let's talk about how it might be affecting you, your kids, somebody else that you love. We're going to do some clearing work to try and give you guys some relief and just talk about some more tools for a little bit of help and some breathing room. So, and I'll hopefully help you understand some of the things that you may have been feeling and going through the last little while as well. So that's what's going to happen. But I think first we'll go ahead and dive into our regular topics around here. So first we'll take a look at Luminous Magazine. I'm going to share a link in the chat room, but if you'd like to see Luminous, just head over to katie-weaver.com. Right there on the home page, there's a button for Katie's Magazine. Click on it, and then you can just click right on the cover of the magazine and be taken straight into the magazine itself. So that's how it works. As you guys know, it's a compilation of work between myself and several of my very talented colleagues over at 1-2-Listen. So there's a link in the chat now if you'd like to go there with me. I have to brag one more time about how, I don't know if it's bragging, how deeply in love I am with this cover. I wanted to do something Halloween-y, but not too kitschy, but, you know, still amazing. And this is what I came up with. I absolutely love it. I think that the raven is striking. And you guys know that ravens play a huge role in my life, so I love the cover. Can't get enough of it. Alrighty, so of course there's always a note from me. I was just talking about how much I've been staying home. There have been a lot of days lately where I have never set foot out of the house. And it's awesome. I'm not so much a hermit, I think, I hope. My daughter finally drugged me out yesterday to go to a coffee shack. Because she'd had enough of me, I think. But ultimately, I've just been feeling like staying home and creating and learning and drinking coffee and lighting candles and just really loving the energy in this time of year. And I probably need more outside time in this fall weather. Can't neglect it for too long or it'll be gone. We're already getting snow in in our hills and mountains, and we're not far off. So I definitely need to do a thing or two to honor the weather and the time of year that I treasure so much. But it's just felt so good to stay home. I don't know, staying out of the public eye, staying out of the public collective, the collective energy, I guess. I mean, this empath has been crushed, and I know you guys have too. So it's just been a good thing for me. Now, maybe I'll get bored. Maybe at some point I need to get out of here and do something, but it's been online shopping. I even ordered my groceries online. It was brilliant. So that's what's up with me, in case you were wondering. I have got a really fun show coming up. On the 26th, of October, which is a Friday, I'm taking over the 1-2 original spot for 1 week only, and I have invited a few of my fellow mediums here at 1-2 Listen to do a panel with me. I wanted to do a panel on mediumship because I think mediumship has gotten to be very confused and misrepresented and weird, and I want to clear some things up. I want to give our mediums an opportunity to really talk about what their experiences are. I want to talk about what mediumship is and what it isn't, and what to expect and what not to expect, and just really get real about mediumship. So that's going to happen on the 26th at 11 a.m. Pacific here on 1-2 Radio. So I'm hoping that you guys can plan for that and join us for that show. And if you have questions for mediums, I don't know that we'll do readings in this show. I doubt we have time. But if you have questions about mediumship, about the gift of it, about the art of it, about things you've heard, about if you want us to debunk or to bunk a theory that you've heard, please send them to me. I'd love to hear them. It's a panel. We're asking questions. We're answering them to the very best of our abilities. So I'm really excited about that show. So my guests that week will be Brittany Ocklinger, Elizabeth Lindsay, and one more guest TBA. I'm not going to announce yet because she was a little iffy on the time frame, so I won't say it until I know it, but should be 4 of us. Okay, I called the magazine this week the Divine Feminine Edition. I did that because I feel like so many women are emerging right now. So many. I mean, we've seen it before. This is another layer of it, right? But so many powerful women, so many terrified women stepping out from behind the curtain to talk about experiences that they've had, to show some support, to get real, to get loud. I expect that we'll see that here for the next couple of months at least, and I hope longer. But a real wave of femininity and divine feminine power, which, doesn't probably really mix so well with society's definition of femininity, because this is powerful, this is pissed off, this is ready to rumble and go, this is opinionated, this is everything that the divine feminine really is. It's not demure, it's certainly not quiet, it's not ladylike, it's real, and I'm absolutely thrilled to be a part of it. I'm not thrilled that events in our world recently have taken us to this place. I'm not. But I am happy that a spotlight is shining very brightly right now on our country and on our world when it comes to the way women are treated and what we are not going to put up with any longer. So for that, I said, yeah, I'll take that all day long. All right. The next article, this is my new blog post. I started it last week. This is called My Memoirs, mostly for me, sometimes for you. I am loving writing my memoirs, and I decided to just start sharing a weekly one. And the title of it basically meant that, and I think this is true of memoirs for all of us, they're our own reflections. They're our own opportunity to look back on an experience maybe under a new lens. We've grown, we're older. The article, something I wrote about this week, happened to me when I was 13 years old. I can look back at that now, nearly 30 years have passed, and I'm not going to lie. Some of the same anger sparked up in me. Some of the same frustration. I remember that little girl very well and the hurt that she endured. But you know what? I also remembered how much stronger I am now, and I realized how grateful I am for that experience, even though it sucked at the time, and no one could have told me in that moment, you'll be glad this happened someday. They couldn't have. They shouldn't have. But boy, am I. So I hope that you read it when you have a minute, and let me know what your thoughts are. Alrighty. Then, of course, we do have the Domestic Mystics Daily Dish. This is the last time you'll see it in Luminous, because again, it's moving over to my subscription to the email service. So I won't have it here any longer, but I am going to share it with you this week so that you know what to think about or know what's coming up while we get you going on receiving the daily reading. We'll start with today, Wednesday. This is one of those days that feels like nothing is happening. You may find yourself feeling bored, overly tired, and uninspired. Be patient with yourself. That energy should lift by late afternoon, and you will get your sparkle back. Thursday, you may find yourself thinking or even dreaming about an old love. Before you seek them out, stalk them on Facebook or send that text. Let the day play out. It is most likely that your subconscious is working through some old feelings about this person and situation. This is not necessarily a premonition that you need to reconnect with that person. And I think that's a really important note. Sometimes it is, right? Sometimes we get those feelings, we get those energies coming at us, and we feel like, okay, this means that I need to talk to them. And I do think it means that sometimes, not this time. I feel like this new moon brought some really wild energy to us. It brought some things to the surface. It's pulling, and Venus in retrograde as well, it's pulling some stuff up. In this instance, don't do it. Do not reach out to that person. Don't try to rekindle something. Don't put yourself in that position. It's not what it means. Friday. This is the best day of the week for manifesting. There is a lot of energy in success and achievements. Pitch that book, write that proposal, or ask for that raise. After all, you do deserve all of the abundance under the sun. Saturday. This is the most intuitive day of the week. Be sure not to neglect your spirit today. Some meditation, energy work, and time outside are all called for. This would be a great day to give yourself the gift of a card reading or even an automatic writing session. And Sunday, put some focus on your root chakra today. Ground yourself by spending time outside, taking a sea salt bath, and wearing or diffusing frankincense essential oil. The more grounded and centered you are today, the better the upcoming week will flow. Sometimes we all need to hear that, I think. Okay. And then, of course, you know about my autumn equinox video reading. I've done quite a few of them for you guys already. And it's not too late. I mean, we are into the autumnal equinox now, a little ways, but that's okay. If you would still like a reading on that front, I would love to give it to you. I'm going to put a link in the chat room, but you can absolutely find it by heading over to one2listen.com, looking under me, Katie Weaver, under my email readings. So it's a video reading. Basically what you do is you buy it and I get a note that you bought it, and then within 2 or 3 days, I will send you your video reading. So I'm pulling cards from the Raven Oracle. I'm giving you some candle magic. I'm giving you some crystals and some other ideas to navigate the whole autumnal equinox period up until the winter solstice. So I would love to do that for you. Alrighty. Now, Christy brings to us this week our crystal of the week, which is celestite. Celestite is this beautiful blue. I couldn't find my celestite. Somebody's in trouble around here. But it's a light blue, gemmy, glassy looking stone. It is so beautiful and it is so comforting. So she brings it to us. Celestite supports communication with the divine. Use this stone to seek out messages from your guides and angels. So if you're working on communication, celestite's a great stone to use with that, particularly for angelic connections. And then she brings us a card from her Energy Oracle deck, her Kindred Spirits Energy Oracle deck. And the card this week is Kuan Yin, Goddess Kuan Yin. The primary message is grief, broken heart, looking for peace, nurture, needing mothering, unconditional love, and the heart chakra. The challenge, if you're needing Kuan Yin, is irritation, anger, conditional love, and need. The crystal is manganocalcite, and the meditation is, Dear Kuan Yin, please surround me in a cloud of pink light, filling in all of the cracks in my broken heart and bringing me relief. It's a beautiful message. Then, of course, Kai's Kaleidoscope. Kai's article is called What's in Your Handbag, and it is so fun. So fun. I love what she has to say about What is in your handbag? What is in your toolbox? Also, what if we were to go forward, a few thousand years and dig into your artifacts? What would they look like? What are you packing around? I loved it. But she also was talking about ancient civilizations and what archaeologists are finding about them that I think we can really relate to. So I think that's a lot of fun. Okay. Then, of course, the tip of the week. The tip this week are my stress less bath salts because we're stressing. And so this is how you make them. Go ahead and combine 2 cups of sea salt with 12 drops of orange oil, 6 drops of peppermint oil. Shake it well, put a half a cup into hot bath water, and take a soak. And both of these oils, the peppermint and the orange, are good for melting stress away and helping you to get optimistic and to get clear and to get sharp. Alrighty, a beautiful article from Brittany about donating and where you're donating, if you're donating. We've all gotten weird about donating, right? Because unfortunately, we've heard a lot of things about where our money might be going. The breast cancer stuff just freaking slays me. All of that pink stuff that everybody wants to sell us, and they say that the money goes to breast cancer research, and it only kind of does, because companies like Susan G. Komen, they have an unbelievable amount of operating costs. CEOs that are making 6 figures and heard of bonuses, the administrative costs that are going to support these companies. That's where so much of your money goes, and it just sucks. Because if you're like me, if you're donating, you want all of your money to go to actually help the person or the thing that you're putting your money towards. So she had some great ideas of ways to donate, not just money, but your time. If you'd like to invest your time into something to help others, she had some great suggestions, some really good links. So I appreciated what she had to say, and I've been thinking about it a lot too, because I want to help this world. I want to make a difference in this world, but I don't want to get duped. I know. But I'm the first guy on the street, to give somebody homeless money, and someone else says, you shouldn't give them money, they'll buy alcohol with it. I don't freaking care. I don't care. What they do with my money is what they do with my money. And maybe I should care, maybe I shouldn't. I don't know. That's a conversation for another day. But ultimately, I just want to help people, and I know you guys do too. So I appreciated her tips and her ideas about that. Dr. Elisa this week, the header of her article, you are able to transform and evolve when you trust and pursue your own spiritual journey and dreams. I loved her article. She was talking about following your gut, following your spirit. You can read the books, you can take the workshops, you can listen to the gurus, you can do what you want to do. That's fine. There's no judgment there. But don't forget that you have a say in the matter. Don't forget that you have a powerful spirit that also knows a few things about you and about your world. The Magic Monday message this week from Melissa Caprio was a huge announcement. Now, it's her postcard, right? This is Melissa's postcard because she's been working on something huge, and it's finally come through. Melissa now has a publishing contract for her Postcards to the Universe movement. So it's really exciting, and we're very excited for her and proud of her. And I want to celebrate that with her. So I was excited that her postcard this week was all about that. And then lastly, Anita brings us the Archangel, the Master actually of the week. And the Master this week is Archangel Ariel, which I was so glad for because we need her nurturing right now. And it's something that as the empaths of the world are feeling pretty smashed, it's a really good topic for us. So they're a good angel to connect to for us. So thank you for that, Anita. So that's Luminous this week. If you would like to receive it, you can head over to katie-weaver.com, and there's a button right on the homepage to subscribe, and I can send it to you every week. But you don't really have to do that. You can also find it right on my website every week. and over on my Facebook page. So lots of ways to connect to it. Alrighty. So Helen said, looking forward to the mediumship show. Me too. I have to tell you, the reason this show came to be is that Elizabeth and I were speaking a few days ago about how mediumship has gotten hijacked in the media. And it's a good thing and it's a bad thing, right? Because we have all of these mediums on TV, and it's great in a sense because it's giving legitimacy to our work, but it sucks in a sense because it's reality TV. And reality TV is just that. It's TV. And we feel like maybe it's a good time to clear a few things up. Not just for people who are needing to receive some mediumship, but mediums. Because I feel like a lot of people that I know, clients that I have and students that I have who are mediums, are feeling a little discouraged and snuffed out by the idea that mediumship is this one particular thing and it's done this one particular way. And if you are not Teresa Caputo or many others, not just to call her out, that maybe what you're doing isn't good enough, and that's just simply not true. So that's where the idea for that show came from, in case you're thinking about it, wondering about it. It's going to be good. I am excited to hear everybody's attitudes and opinions on it. Okay, I'm going to take a quick drink of coffee here. All right, so I think let's do our card reading, because the singing bowl work this week really ties into the empathic work that we're going to be doing together. So I think we'll wait on that, and we'll go ahead and do the this work first. So I have to tell you guys, my office overlooks the backyard, and the pigs are out back running these big laps through the yard, and it's really cracking me up. They're distracting me a little bit because I keep seeing this big party going on over there. It was rainy yesterday. They didn't want to go outside. They were in the house, bored, grumpy, into stuff. And so I think this morning they're so happy that they get to go outside and play, and that they want to go outside and play, that they just can't even hold their excitement in. Anyway, back to what we're doing, the card reading. This is, of course, my deck. This is the Ground, Bless, Protect, and Move deck. You can get more information about it over at katie-weaver.com. This is a 5-card spread, and it is all about spiritual self-care. So you'll hear 5 suggestions of spiritual self-care for the week in different parts of your life, in different parts of your spirit and your needs, right? All right. So the ground card is animals. Grounding to animals is really powerful. And you ground to animals by holding them, by petting them, by spending time with them. And if you have dogs and cats or birds or pigs or whatever at home, if you have pigs, we need to talk, then you know what I'm talking about. But what if you don't? Well, perhaps it's time to go visit a friend who does. Maybe what your spirit needs is a little heart-to-heart with the spirit of an animal. That kind of purity, that kind of healing, that kind of gentleness. So grounding this week with the energy of animals. Okay. The bless card this week is food. I love this one. Now, I grew up in a religion that, I don't know if it's the religion itself, but the culture of the religion I grew up in, right? You bless every meal, every meal. And there is a prayer, and I know it's not just the religion I grew up in. Lots of cultures do this, right? Lots of religions do this, that we pray over our food. Well, I love that. I'm a huge proponent of that. Maybe it's not the same way I was raised to do it. Maybe it is, whatever, no judgment. But here's why. First of all, your food came from somewhere. Perhaps an animal's life was sacrificed for your food. This is a good time to show them some reverence and some gratitude. Somebody grew that food. This is a good time to send a blessing to the person who planted it, and the person who harvested it, and the person who sorted it, the person who transported it, and the person who sold it. there are a lot of hands that much of your food has passed through. Perhaps the person who processed it too and packaged it, right? Well, there's two things that should happen. We want to send a blessing to everybody who played a part, a blessing of gratitude, who played a part in our food, but we also want to clear that food. Why? Because their frequency is not your frequency, right? I mean, that's pretty easy. Their frequency is not your frequency. It doesn't mean they're bad and you're good. It doesn't mean they're evil and you're wonderful. It doesn't mean any of that. But what it means is you want to clear away whatever energy is in that food. So let's pretend for just a minute that the person who processed or packaged the thing that you're eating was extremely angry that day. And just maybe the energy of their anger is still in that block of cheese or whatever it is, right? So bless your food. That's easy. That's easy. And just like in the picture, you can put your hands over your food, allow a powerful pillar of white light to pour over your head, through your body and out your hands, and fill your food up with light, holding the intention that we are sending gratitude to all souls who played a part in this meal, and including you, by the way, if you prepared it. But we're also clearing away any energy there that no longer serves us or that isn't to our highest and best good, and filling it up with light. It just makes sense. I will also say, do this with your supplements and with your medication. I talked to so many of you guys that have ended up with something going on with your physical body that is requiring some medication. And you're pissed off about it. And you're feeling betrayed by your body, by your spirit. You wanted to be one of those guys who never has to take a pharmaceutical ever. And now here you are with a handful of pills and you hate it. And I understand that because I have my own handful. I get it. But rather than hate that thing that you're putting into your body, let's bless it, right? Let's clear away anything, any vibrations, any frequencies there that don't serve your highest and best purpose, and let's fill it up with light. For years, I have taught my cancer patient clients, when you go in for chemo, don't look at that as a bag of poison that's running into your body. That's not good for you. Look at that as pure light running through you. Bless that bag, fill it up with light. You can ask the nurse to let you hold it before you ever hang it on there. They hang it on the rack if you want to. It's your body and it's your medicine. But if you see it as poison, as you see it as something you hate, and it's dripping into your body, or you're taking it by the handfuls in your pills and supplements, that's what you're putting into you. So don't. You have a choice. Sometimes you don't have a choice about certain things, right? I don't have a thyroid. I have to take a thyroid medication. I would literally die at some point without it. Okay? Fine. But I don't have to hate the thyroid medicine. I can love it. I can be grateful for it. I don't have to be glad that I don't have a thyroid, but that's a whole other conversation, right? So make sure that while you're blessing your food, very important, also bless your medication. Okay. I know. Also, bless the medication of your family members. If you're the one that administers medicine to your kids or to your spouse or to someone else in your family that's ailing or to your pets, my little Chihuahua Skippy, he actually gets a seizure pill twice a day. And it gets a little blessing right before it gets put in his treat that goes right in his belly because I'm grateful for it. And the vet told me this might destroy his liver. And at first, every time I gave it to him, I was scared to death. And I felt like, oh my God, I am giving him this thing, you know, that is going to destroy his liver. And then I finally realized I don't need to look at it like that. And that's not the thing I need to put into him every time I pick these pills up. So I changed my ways. It's been a year. We went to the vet recently. Guess what? Skippy has a clean bill of health. He's doing awesome. He has seizures. He's an old doggy. He has old man seizures. But His liver is in perfect condition. It's in better shape than it was last year when we started this med. Is it because I'm blessing his pills? Maybe. Is it because I'm blessing him? I hope so. Is it because he's just in a better place? That's probably part of it, right? But I'm going to keep blessing his pills. You know that's true. Okay, let's move on. So the Protect card this week is the Dark Stone. And I like this one. It's an easy one. And if you love crystals, you know this is a no-brainer. Take a dark stone. Obsidian, snowflake obsidian, smoky quartz, black tourmaline, onyx, hematite. The list goes on and on. You decide what dark stone is good for you. Garnet is good too. You decide, right? In my world, black tourmaline is like the rock star of grounding, and it does a great job with protection. Jet does a great job with protection. Lots of stones do. Make it a dark one. Hold it up to your mouth and whisper into it or speak into it what you want it to do. Perhaps you want it to help to just ward off any energies coming to you that aren't loving or that aren't supportive. Perhaps you want it to help you to remain invisible to those who would be hurtful to you or harm you in some way, physically or energetically. Whatever you want it to do, you speak it into your stone and then keep it in your pocket, in your bra, somewhere. The properties of crystals are activated through heat or pressure. So if you have it on your body, you're heating it up. There you go. Alrighty, the move card is hike. And I love this one. Go on a hike this week if you can. If you can't, go on a walk. If you can't go on a walk, wander through your house with the intention of moving your body. Turn up some music. Do something. Go wander the mall. Ugh, no, I don't know. If you like that sort of thing, go wander the mall. If you don't, please don't. But get outside if you can. Get out somewhere. Do a little bit of walking. Do a little bit of breathing in the energy and the air. This helps break up stuck energy in your body. It helps to initiate happy hormones in your brain. The move part of spiritual self-care is really important. And then the boost card this week is music. So the card says, music is a powerful tool for boosting your spirit. Build a playlist that inspires you and turn it up when you need a lift. That's simple, right? I have to tell you, I've been hooked on Ed Sheeran lately. I've been listening to a ton of Ed Sheeran. Whatever it is that makes you feel wonderful right now, listen to it. A lot. Okay, so that is the Ground Bless Protect and Move reading for the week. All right, so getting into our topic, I'm going to take a quick peek into the chat room here. So of course we are talking about, oh my goodness, Cindy shared a meme of a little black pig getting her little chinny scratched, and she looks just like what our little Fiona did when she was little. Fiona's not little anymore, but she is she's still a little pig as far as pigs go, but she's sure not a baby anymore. Okay. All right, a couple of things that I wanted to. Jane said, don't even get me started on breast cancer awareness crap. As if anyone on the planet isn't aware. Way to keep it in our consciousness and not have a cure after a cajillion dollars being donated to it. Oh, and thank you. I love my new banner too. She said, this angry empath has been so sleepy and shoveling massive quantities of sweets into her pie hole. Wink. No offense to the piggies. Thanks, Jane. And thanks for bringing that up because it is very true. Okay. Eva said, looking forward to the Friday show about mediums. Wondering if you could make a show about dark entities. What are your thoughts about them and your experiences as well? You know what, Eva? Yeah, we can. Not that show, but why don't I put together another panel in November and we'll talk about dark entities. It seems like maybe this is a really good time for that, right? Seems like there's been some pretty wonky energy in the air. Okay. All right. Yeah, Helen says, what's not to love? It's Ed, right? I know. I am a fool for Ed Sheeran. I don't just love his music. I love him. I love how real he is, how authentic he is. He's just a good dude. I love it. Cynthia says, so happy to hear the topic for today. The struggle is real. Everyone, including myself, has been struggling with the reemergence of traumatic memories since Kavanaugh's hearing. One positive aspect is the strengthening of sisterhood amongst all women, even total strangers. And then Deb had commented on that. I agree that the hearing caused traumatic memories. Rather than feeling strengthened, I want to stay quiet. Not being heard or validated feels worse than the actual trauma. Hope to take this opportunity to heal a layer of hurt. And that's a good point. Some women are healing their hurt right now by being vocal, and some are healing it quietly by themselves, and there's nothing wrong with that. There's no wrong answer here. But very true that so many people have been triggered and hurt. It's just astonishing. Jessica said it is a spectacular cover. I really like it. Jessica, you've always been my favorite. Okay. Oh, guys. Alrighty. Well, so Jane, you helped me really dive into it, because here it is, okay? The empaths are feeling crushed by this energy. So first of all, what is the collective energy? Well, the collective means that we have the sum of all of the energy, right? If you took the frequency of every person around you, let's just say right now, every person on the planet, or for a lot of our purposes, every person here in the US, or even every woman in the US, or whatever, okay? You take those frequencies, if you put them into a blender and you pulled out the result, that would be the collective. The collective is basically an average of how everyone's feeling. So if I'm up here, my frequency is here, and someone else's frequency is down here lower, this is where we would find ourselves, right? So people who have been struggling already, and now, and even if you haven't, right now the energy is angry. And some of that anger is good, and it's causing movement on our planet. And I'm not saying it's not okay. It is okay. And your righteous anger, you have every right to that. But the empathic peoples, and that's many of you guys. And what are empaths? Empaths are people that feel what other people feel. They feel sometimes what, I don't know, I hate to use this phrase, but a lot of people say empaths feel too much. I don't know that I think that's true. They feel a lot. Let's say that. They feel a profound amount of energy. And empaths do. But empaths tend to pick up on and are very fragile to really volatile energies like anger. And so when the collective energy is this angry, the empaths are absolutely crushed under it. It feels really bad. So here's some of the things that I have been hearing from clients and noticing in myself and my family. Major fatigue, apathy, hunger. Jane, you're right on target. The hunger, especially for carbs and for crap, that's a way of grounding and trying to make yourself feel better. It's sometimes subconscious, sometimes conscious, but that's what it's about. Dreaming, not sleeping well, dreaming in the sense of like nightmares. We've had a lot of nightmares at my house here in the last few days. Body aches and pains, feeling like you need to stay home, like you need to draw yourself in. Like Deb said, she's feeling very quiet. I can understand that. Basically, but the overarching theme is feeling like something is wrong. I've had many of you call me over at Listen here in the last, I'm going to say 7 days, and say, I feel like something's wrong, but I cannot put my finger on it. And sometimes, those of you that I've spoken to have been racking your brains, you've been doing your research, you've been reading some cards, you've been trying to figure out what is it, so you usually go to places of safety and security first, because that's our nature. Is my housing stable? Is my job stable? Is my husband stable? Is my, way of life stable? Because when you feel like something's wrong, deeply wrong, it's frightening. And you will definitely be looking for a way to figure out, what the hell is it? And how do I fix it? How do I get in front of it? Is this a premonition? What do I do? So lots of you guys have been feeling that way. Just waking up feeling like something's wrong. Well, here's what it is. You are an empath, and the collective energy is mad as hell. And that anger is so foreign to your sensitive spirit, it's making you feel pretty crappy on a physical level, on a spiritual level, on an emotional level. Does that make sense? Am I describing you to a T? At least to a half a T, a little T? I am guessing so. So what do? Because we can't keep feeling this way. We cannot live like this. It's not okay. So what do? Well, first of all, we do some clearing and we do some grounding. Those are the first things we do. Because when you start getting nervous about your safety and security, we have this bad domino effect. So pretend with me, Alice wakes up in the morning, and Alice is deeply intuitive. And she wakes up in the morning and something feels wrong in her gut. And she feels overall not good. And something feels wrong. So she starts going to the places of safety and security first, because that is very normal. That's what we do. That is based on our human needs. So she starts worrying about, oh my God, is there something wrong with my job? Is my husband cheating on me? Is there something wrong in my world? Am I going to lose my housing? Am I about to lose my income? Is someone I love going to die? Why do I feel this way? So now she has taken a deep dive into a lot of fears and insecurities that are normal. But what happens energetically to Alice? Well, she becomes very ungrounded, because now the root chakra is in a panic. And so now she's ungrounded, a lot of energy into the crown. And when that happens, it's really tough to get clarity. So now her brain's in a loop, thinking about the stuff. So anxiety, depression starts setting in. You know, thank you, imaginary Alice, for being our case study. But this is what happens. So what do we have to do first? We've got to do some clearing. Then we have to do some grounding. Then we have to talk about some tools to overcome this, because this pissed off energy, it's not going anywhere. Not for a while. So we have to start transmuting it into something that's useful so that our poor empaths can function, right? And get back to their lives and their light and their creativity and their families and spreading their blessings. So we have to do the work. So the first thing we're going to do is clear. We're doing it with the singing bowl because that's very effective. So I'm going to start chiming the bowl. I would like you to allow the vibration of the bowl to vibrate all the way through your body, holding the intention that the vibration of the singing bowl will release any energy that is trapped in your body, in your spirit, and in your emotional body. Anything that you are carrying that isn't yours, that no longer serves you, and that does not match your natural frequency. Okay? So that's the intention we're holding. So here we go. Close your eyes, take a few deep breaths. Okay, and now I'm going to continue to chime the bowl, but this time we're going to ground. So I'd like you to allow red tree roots to grow out of the bottoms of your feet and send them deep, deep, deep into the earth while I chime the bowl. This bowl is in the note of C, which resonates with the root chakra. We're going to allow the vibration of the bowl to help bring our root chakras into perfect alignment. Good. Better. Better. Okay. Some other ways for you to continue to clear. Sea salt baths are powerful. Getting yourself outside, and I know it's getting chilly where a lot of us live, but getting your bare feet on the ground, powerful. Sometimes just putting your hands in running water and letting it pour over your hands while you imagine all of that anger that is coming from other sources to just flow down the drain is powerful. So what do we do moving forward? I don't want to take away your anger. If you have it, if you're feeling it, if you need it, if you want it right now, if it's driving you forward, that's fine. But what I want to do is keep the collective from smashing you like a bug, right? So, positive affirmations, they're going to help. Not everyone resonates with positive affirmations, and if you don't force yourself. But if you do, this is a good time to remember a few. I am safe. I am powerful. I am capable. I am okay. I'm safe within my home. Something that I think we can do is create sanctuary within our homes. And I hope that your homes are already your sanctuary. But some things that you could consider. You might make your home a no news space or a no violence space. You might decide right now that you need to clear your home. I think a lot of people do. You might want to use your smudge or another technique if you like something better to clear the energy of your space. And you might clear more frequently for a while, just in giving your home an opportunity to feel better, right? So that's one place that you might consider going. You may consider right now building an altar on a shelf or a table or a countertop if you don't have one. If you do, great. But putting some things on that altar that make you feel safe and make you feel like you. I didn't mean a handgun. I heard that. One of you said that. But things that keep you safe and things that make you feel like you. Ultimately, you need some autonomy from the anger. You're not angry at heart. You don't need to roil in this every day. Maybe you need a little break from social media, or maybe you just need to do a bit of cleanup. I finally just removed every news source from my wall. Everyone. No more news for me. If I want to go seek it out, if there's something I need to know about, great. But I can't just have it in my face every day right now. It's just too much. And maybe I'll change that later. But for now, this little empath, she needs a break. Don't go to places that you don't want to go. If you can avoid it, avoid it. Do not engage in conversations with people that are going to put you in a turmoil. Don't do it. It's not worth it right now. Ultimately, take care of you and honor you. And if you feel like you need some help, give me a call. I can help you. We can clear a lot of this energy. We can clear your home. We can do some ethereal energy work. We can do some ethereal metals, ethereal crystals to really protect you from the weight of this world so that you don't have to have it on your shoulders. Whatever it is you need, let's get there. Don't suffer in silence. There's no reason to. Guys, we've done what we do. We've talked down to the end of the show. I feel like this topic could have gone on for another hour. Maybe it will next week. We'll see what Spirit says. I want to invite you to stay tuned for Elizabeth Lindsay, followed by with Angel with Annette, followed by Elizabeth. We have The Long Road with Kai Greenway, and I happen to know that Kai's guest today is Christy, talking about her book and her projects right now. Very exciting stuff. And then, of course, we'll finish up the day. Well, no, we have 2 more shows after that. That's changed. We have Postcards to the Universe with Melissa Caprio, and then we'll finish up the day with Down the Rabbit Hole with Raven McMinn and Nancy Newman. So much more good radio to come. You will find me tomorrow at 11 a.m. Pacific, right here on 1-2 Radio with the Psychic Sisters. I'm going to be over at 1-2 Listen for the rest of the day and evening. So if you need me, that's where you'll find me. Thanks for being here, guys. You're listening to The Katie Weaver Show on 1-2 Radio, where we're changing the way you listen to the world.